Welcome back to another SEO podcast with Robert. Now, before we actually get into this episode, there were a couple times throughout the episode where there was a couple internet issues where I had to repeat myself or Robert had to repeat himself. But without any further ado, it is a great episode and let's get into it. Welcome back to another podcast, and I am here with Robert Niechciał. Correct pronunciation?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Correct one.
I feel like it's important to get some of the Polish guys on the podcast because I know that you have a big following. And for anybody that doesn't know who you are, explain in 1 or 2 minutes who you are and what you do.
So, thanks for having me, Kasra. I'm Robert. I am here like forever, for last 20 years. I started my SEO journey in 2004. And now I'm running data science SEO agency in Poland. And also I'm up to domain drop catching, affiliate portfolio, a lot of AI development on my end right now. And I'm also speaking around the globe on conferences. Actually, we met on one of them. So yeah.
Yeah, you do quite a lot of things, which is why I quite like speaking to you at times where it's like, oh, you're doing programmatic SEO here or you're using AI there. So we'll obviously speak about everything, but right now you're obviously, I would probably consider you as the programmatic SEO guy. And then second of all, I'd probably consider you as possibly the biggest SEO agency in Poland. Am I correct in saying that?
It depends how you measure it, because we have bigger agency based on the profit, but they are like 360 agencies with pay-per-click, social media creation, websites, development, etc. And they are bigger based on profit, but based only on SEO income, we are one of the biggest agency in Poland right now. Of course, excluding these mass agencies which sell SEO for 1,000, like Yellow Pages and this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not comparing myself to this sort of big companies, but comparing to 100% SEO companies, we are one of the biggest, if not the biggest one in Poland right now.
Yeah. And does your agency only offer SEO or would you do web development or PPC and stuff like that?
So we started building a small PPC team right now because our big clients want to have everything on one report and one invoice and one status call, etc. So they want to put everything below one roof. And it's not a let's say not lead stream, but income stream for us right now. But we are starting to deliver this sort of service just to fulfill our client needs. But our main focus is on the SEO right now, and it's 95%.
Yeah.
95, something like that, percent of income right now. Of course, if I say SEO, I mean consulting, technical stuff, link building, content, everything inside. Yeah.
And then you just mentioned you've started hiring some staff for your PPC side of stuff. How many staff do you overall have at the agency?
Could you please pardon, because I think we had some sort of connection problem. Could you please answer one more time?
How many staff do you have at the agency?
So we had 20 people, and one of Python developer decided to quit the company and move to bigger brands, or not bigger brands, to software house to have senior developers and more developers in team. And now we are 90. Yeah, we are 90 people right now.
90 people. That's
19.
19. Right. Okay. Right. Okay.
Of course, copywriters and editors excluded. We only count the number of experts and operation guys inside of our company. Yeah. And
right. Okay.
Copywriters, editors, authors, but we outsource this operation.
Yeah, and then from a staffing and hiring point of view, are you the guy that does the hires, or do you have somebody that hires staff?
I have a colleague who do CV screening, so we have a lot of CVs, and he decide who we want to contact with, and then I'm joining all calls and all let's say, recruiting calls and process to decide who is fitting our culture and organization needs in time. And yeah, so I'm this guy who scares everybody at the end of the journey in our HR process. Yeah.
I promise I have met Robert in real life. He's not that scary. So yeah, that's great to hear. And then obviously, like, you're one of the guys that I look up to when it comes to AI, especially like within the SEO industry. Like we've spoke before about LLMs and like how you're using it. Do you use AI in the agency, or are you against it?
So we use or let's say on the back end, for planning, for content planning, for content briefing, for helping to classify some keywords, intents, and all possible ways we can do it on backend. And as for we work with big clients like TV clients, TV budgets, and sort of big brands. So we can't to fulfill all verticals by AI. I mean, we still have a human, we have still human editors, but we can do enough and all analytics and planning enriched by AI. Of course, it's always we always include experts and our know-how in the process, but we trying to make it faster and better, including AI in our
just streamlining the process.
Exactly.
Essentially, yeah. That makes sense. What's some crazy things that Robert's using AI for? Because I like some of the experiments that you're doing. It's crazy. Especially if I'm speaking to you at some of the events, or if you're up on stage. What's one thing? Obviously, I saw that you're doing the OnlyFans website. Can we speak about that?
Yeah, sure. No worry. I just to note, I think we have some reception problem. It's funny because we are both in Europe, but maybe the final recording will be fine. So yeah, I did OnlyFans project just for education purpose and just enjoy during the Christmas last year. Mm-hmm. And yeah, actually it's skyrocketing. It's already like 2,000 people daily on a website just after 2 weeks. And yeah, I'm waiting for the money because it's, I guess, hard to monetize adult niche, especially in the era of free porn everywhere. But yeah, I used to develop this project only open source large language models. It's quite interesting because everybody are up to not only fans but OpenAI models. I mean GPT-4, GPT-3, 3.5 Turbo, etc. And I used only open source models like Mistral, Mixtral, and Mixtral. It's two different models, but from the same company. And the most important part is that OpenAI models don't allow you to go for, let's say, bad words like adult words, or they classify it as prohibited. But these open source models are good for everything, and yeah, it was one of the things I found like as a funny one. And yeah, it's working. Of course, it has like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and skyrocketing each day, every day, in the next 8 all-time high.
Yeah.
And I will try to replicate same approach and ideas to gambling niche, to cover all possible slots, games, casinos around the globe. And yeah, I think I need 1 quarter to do it, and I will back with results.
Yeah, that'll be interesting, because obviously we do quite a lot in the gambling space. Well, one question I want to ask you on the OnlyFans website is, did you do any form of link building? Because if I'm correct in saying, now correct me if I'm wrong here, would you have potentially published or programmatically published, let's say 2,000, 3,000 pages, and then you essentially got them indexed, and then you're getting the 2,000 visitors? Is that kind of the process that you went for? First of all,
actually, it's 300,000 pages right now because of the models names. For example, there is a connection like model name and leak model name, nude, model, nick, porn, whatever. There's a lot of possible, connection with this sort of keywords, and there's a lot of hidden traffic. It's like below the radar of everybody, and yeah. So literally, I scrape nicknames. It's not obvious because how to get all nicknames from OnlyFans, because they don't have any listicles or whatever. Just go for, as an example, to OnlyFans sitemap, and you will be redirected to sort of nice try hacker or something like that. And then classification, sex detection, description, whatever, internal linking, fantasies, keywords, and everything. I can use large language models to proceed, and then yeah.
And I need to ask, because I need to ask this question because I feel like there's going to be other people that have this question in their head. What did your wife think of this project? Oh, can you hear me?
You asked me. We had a problem with connection. You asked me what my wife think about it.
Yeah, what did your wife think of the website?
Yeah. So she just asked me, is it legal? But as in my past, I was quite good, big player in London escort niche. So she, let's say, used to know that I operate in this field, and there's no problem. It's only website and it's legal. So, yeah, why not? But I got crazy feedback from my developer who was doing front end for me, and he gave me some comments about his wife.
Yeah, I can imagine. So then, obviously, you've went and mass produced this 300-page website. What's like the link building like? Because obviously,
So as I already mentioned in the past, I was working for London escort niche, and in general escort niche in UK, and I got a lot of domains from my past. And the domain where I published the content was escort domain in UK. So let's say as a historical topicality,
historical data,
it was in general in adult niche. So I just uploaded a content, and it started to getting attraction just after a few days, like 7 or 10 days. And there's no additional link building right now. And my idea for the project is just to collect as much traffic and as much data I'm possible to get from users, especially from the United States right now, and then measure the point where I can go with this website without any additional links. Just measure the user impact in the process. And as for now, it's running quite day by day new maximum values. As to describe the domain, it was registered in 2017. It was an escort website for so many years, like 6 years there. No traffic, no value, and during the 6 years. And it has like 100 referral domains and DR of 20 something. Yeah, it's nothing sexy at all.
One thing that you could try, and this will be a really interesting test, in the gambling space. Again, gambling links, you know yourself, they're $500-600, if not more sometimes. But what a lot of the gambling affiliates do is, say, for example, they are trying to launch, let's say, 10, 20 new pages. They will have been essentially capturing people's emails. Now, one thing that you can essentially do on your website is capture people's emails, and then if, say, for example, you have a load of models that haven't been indexed to pages, you can send an email blast out saying, hey, we've got leaks or we've got nudes for X, Y, and Z model. They click on the link, and because there's actual visitors going through to that page, you will essentially get that page indexed. So it's a really smart strategy in gambling and stuff.
Yeah, I know. And also I see this sort of operation right now on a Twitter. I'm not sure if you see it, but I have a lot of let's say, leaks on my wall, like, who is she? Click here, blah blah blah. Me and you, blah blah blah, whatever. And I think it's the same idea, just to get the traction from users, and of course it works. And we are 2024.
So then, obviously, like I would consider you now a very, very advanced SEO. Obviously, you started off in SEO in 2004. Bearing in mind, I probably would have been like 6 or 7 years old then. But how did you get into SEO?
Oh yeah, so I was like 15 years old, and my dad, he ran the company with gates and automation and stuff. And he came back from work and asked me, Robert, we have a website. Of course, you did it. Of course, I did it. And how to be high in Yahoo or other search engine that doesn't exist at all right now. And I was thinking, how to be number one in Yahoo. And then I started to reading, testing, and it's how it started. So it started thanks to my dad. And
wow.
Yeah,
that's interesting, because would you have you always spoke English, or did you only speak Polish when you were younger, like when you were 15?
I'm not sure. And I have to say, I'm still learning English.
Yeah.
You can hear my language. Like, English is not a perfect one, but I'm not sure how was it when I was 15 years old. In Polish primary school, we had English, but let's say the level of the knowledge and level of the classes was so bad. And I always went for private classes. Of course, my dad paid me for it. And yeah, now maybe I'm more thinking in English and reading in English. But past, it was more like Polish one, but still, we, as you know, we have quite a big community in Poland, and even 20 years ago it started. Of course, some guys are still in the industry. Some guys went out of the industry to do something different, especially after this Panda and Penguin update, which annihilated the whole industry around the globe. But yeah, the community is quite big in Poland.
Yeah, that's interesting. And then, who like in 2004, who would have been like some of the guys that come to mind when it comes to like the SEOs back then, if that makes sense? Is there anybody that comes to mind, or?
As for international guys, I think I can't say.
Right.
No, 20 years ago. Like 10 years ago, of course, I spot Mark Digity on my radar, and Neil Slavsky on my radar. And of course, I don't think about guys like Neil Patel and the sort of Rand Fishkin guys, but serious SEOs, I can't name any from 20 years ago. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No. It's fine. It's fine. I was hoping you would be like, yeah, I remember reading this guy's blog. I wonder what he's up to. But no, it's totally fine. So you obviously spoke about like the Polish SEO scene. I've met some of the Polish guys. First of all, they can drink. It's like second nature to them when you go to the bar and stuff. But they're all super friendly. Like every single one of them. I've not met a guy, a Polish SEO, that I'm like, oh well, I don't know about him. Every single one of them, they're like, yeah, Kaz, come to Poland, and obviously you host a lot of the masterminds and you host a lot of the events in Poland. So how did that start? How did that come about?
So first of all, we name it as a Polish hospitality, and a lot of guys has it. And how it starts. So my business partner bought a few boats on Polish lakes, and he wanted to start business with renting boats, ski jets, and he had equipment and all stuff we need to do something interesting. And then we realized it was funny because we drank so much, and we realized, okay, using these ski jets and luxury boats, we can do something interesting for Polish industry. and we started doing masterminds on Polish lakes with fancy hotel, fancy boats and other stuff. Even Craig Campbell joined us. Even Gary Wilson joined us a few years ago, and a few other international folks. And yeah, it is how it started like 6 years ago. And then next one, more guys. It's also funny because few years ago, like 6 years ago, it was only for, let's say, SEO specialists or SEO experts or SEO something industry. But after 6 years, they they grow to be SEO entrepreneurs, SEO businessmen, business owners. So for me, it was quite nice to see the journey of a lot of people, how they proceed, grow, and use this knowledge just to run big businesses.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty about SEO, because a lot of people will, for example, be working in an agency, and then if they are truly good at ranking websites, they will possibly go and set up their own agency, like what you've done. What was setting up the agency like? Because I feel like we've spoke about what you're doing now with the agency. We've spoke about how you got into SEO, but what was that transition like? Did you used to work at an SEO agency, or what happened there?
So a few years ago, I was more up to affiliate. I ran a quite big operation in Scandinavia in finance niche. I mean, payday loans and quick loans in Scandinavia, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, no Norway in my history, sorry, but just a free country enough. And during a COVID, they introduced a lot of regulation anti loans, the regulation, and it was a problem with getting a loan in Scandinavia at this time.
Yeah.
And my current business partner realized that because of the COVID and same situation, there is huge hype for e-commerce, and the whole internet speed up like 5 times faster because of the COVID e-commerce, and you know how it was. And he invited me to join his business as a partner and a shareholder, just to jump the wave and go with the trend of COVID and e-commerce spike. So I decided, Scandinavia is going down. Let's go for other business, and it's how I jumped to agency business, and it is how it started like 4 years ago.
That's good. That's I really like seeing SEOs that have essentially like potentially started off in an agency or started doing some client work, and then they've just grown arms and legs like what you've done now. Now you're speaking at international events. You've got like masterminds. Obviously got a lot of awards behind you as well that I want to speak about. So prior I was going live on the podcast, Robert started showing me some of the awards that he has behind him. I want you to pick which one's your favorite award and why did you get it?
I love each of it. For sure, it was the hardest one. It's from the biggest Polish marketing conference. I got a third place in crowd voting. I got it twice, and one is here, and the second one is in my office in Warsaw. So maybe it's the biggest one and the hardest to get. Other one are just like not as hard.
That's good to see. I want to look back round to some more SEO talk, because I feel like I can squeeze some more knowledge bombs out of you. Obviously, with helpful content update, and we've had a couple core algorithm updates. What's some SEO strategies right now that is working either for your own affiliate websites or for potentially clients as well? It could be anything.
So of course we do a lot of link building, and for us it's quite a simple operation right now. We outsource is to WordPress right now because it's not rocket science anymore. But we are heavy on content planning and let's say fulfilling all possible content gaps, topical maps, you name it as you want, but to cover like everything in the best way, internal linking. It makes sense for us also for our e-commerce, especially clients. We plan a lot of attributes, filters, and things they can expand existing structure and get as much traffic as possible, as much signals as possible, and as much positive signals from the user as possible in short time. And it works for us. I have even case study I did for my sister actually, and using only this approach of getting as much signals and covering everything in the niche of pets, I double her traffic comparing month to month. I also did it during Christmas last year. Yeah, I will share it on my Twitter for sure. And the whole idea was we have dog lenses. And she is making fancy designers dog lenses and stuff for dogs. And I do the math and get the data from all competitors, search console stuff, started to clustering, and I realized, okay, we have a dog lenses for Amstaff, for Shih Tzu, for Shiba Inu, whatever race of the dog, you name it, we have a lenses for it. Typical sizes, typical length, typical colors, whatever. And I said to her, okay, just cover everything in your navigation filters and put the products. No content, no extra content to it. Just get everything to your shop and all possible connections. And the graph went like this. And yeah, I also used a lot of AI just to help her in a fast, because it's quite hard to write, let's say, 200 articles in 1 month. But we went for our AI tool to generate the, let's say, draft, and she's rewriting it, making fancy images, well formatted and stuff, and she is uploading it day by day, and it's growing like this. So for sure, as the advice for your listeners, think about possible attributes of your products, all possible connection filters and stuff you can cover your product in all possible way, and then try to speed up your process of producing a content using AI, but always let's say with human touch, well edited, nice photos. If it's unique, it's even better, and with logo and branding on images, and yeah, it will help you a lot. And of course, let's say authority signals from links, blah blah blah, but also signals from users you can get in the simple connection like dog lens for Amstaff, L size, whatever, and you can get a lot of traffic this way, which will leverage the bigger keywords. And
do you know what? I actually really like that tip, because I've been getting so many e-commerce SEO clients and people that have come to me for like e-commerce SEO, and the biggest struggle that I see with e-commerce websites is exactly what you said. They'll be going after, for example, sofas, but they won't mention grey sofas, black sofas, blue sofas, or leather sofas and fabric sofas. So having the attribute is massive. And again, it's also one thing that Corey speaks about as well. Covering the topic in its entirety, doing a full topical map, and then trying to rank for all of your variations, not just your primary keyword, which is what a lot of people do outside of e-commerce SEO as well. That's probably a lot of people's biggest hurdle, where they're not doing the topical map correctly. They're going after the big, massive, I don't know, 15,000 a month search volume keyword, but they don't have the correct foundations in place. So yeah, that was actually a really good tip.
I always go for simple example for it. If you switch on the radiator, you need to wait a bit to get the temperature, and in the meantime you need to cover the small one to get the temperature for the big one, and that's it. And the other thing is, if you want to do it in a responsible way, and you need to plan it somehow, you need to jump a deep dive into data and build based on something, not about what we think about, but how it actually look in your country, because I guess in UK they will search different way than in Poland. So you
Yeah.
need to cross the micro moment of your user on all possible ways, and it always based by data. And you can use also AI just to classify the keywords. Here is this, here is this, here is this, blah 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 blah, and then upload to your website. Yeah. Build web. You need to build based on something, not based on your thinking, because your thinking is different than thinking of machines always.
Yeah, that's. I feel like a lot of people have learned that out the hard way, especially after the core algorithm updates and stuff. So yeah, obviously we've spoke about some of the masterminds you've done. Let's speak about some of the events you're hosting as well, because you. Am I correct in saying you host your own events in Poland also?
So yeah, I have my own conference this year in Warsaw in March, and I partnered with White Press with their conferences, and I'm helping them to bring SEO Vibe Poland next year in May in Poland. I'm more responsible for not the organization but content part and the value to the people, and yeah, I really enjoy to invite people, get people from around the world and make something good for them and for my Polish community, because they gave me a lot, like Polish community gave me a lot, and with respect I want to give them back the value I get around the world. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you have a very similar approach in life to James, because for example, like he gives back a lot to the community, but he also, like for example, he learned as well a lot from the community as well, and I get the similar vibe off you where you're like you want to see others around you starting to do well. Again, if it's helping them out, either doing consultancy work or whether it's hosting an event or doing a mastermind and stuff. So it's really good to see that you're doing that, especially for some of the Polish guys.
As for my value in life, I truly believe that if I help someone, it will double in the future somehow. And yeah, I'm also not the sort of guy who will sit in dark room and say, "Oh yeah, I know, I don't tell anybody, I know." It's no value at the end of the day. And I know a lot of people who know, and never did anything.
That is There's a lot of people like that I know as well that will take a lot from the community, but they'll never give back. But yeah, you're the opposite. You obviously learn from the community, but you also give back. So it's a two-way street almost.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I love your English community and your English guys and your mindset. It's totally different than Polish one, because Polish is about making some tricks, tricking the algorithm. Your UK mindset is more about building a business on top of it. And you are giving me a lot.
Yeah, there's obviously we have a few tricks up our sleeves, but the biggest thing is, and again, if people, like if anybody that's listening that is looking to do affiliate to potentially sell, just bear this in mind. If you are doing any dodgy tactics, let's say PBNs, and again, I'm not against PBNs. PBNs definitely work, but we had somebody come and evaluate a couple of our websites, and they said it's, let's say, a $3 million valuation. However, if you were using PBNs, it wouldn't be $3 million, it'd be 1.5. So then we started doing a little bit of digging. We're like, right, well, why would it be 1.5? Now, if you think of this, Robert, if I'm selling you an affiliate website, what's easier for the sell? Would it be easier for me to sell you an affiliate site with one domain and that's it, and you've got a load of affiliate accounts? Or would it be easier for me to sell you one domain plus, let's say, 200 PBNs and the hosting and everything else, and making certain that you don't need to worry about the footprints? Yeah. Obviously, you would pick the one domain. Yeah, so our tactics, we try to find the line of white hat, grey hat, and black hat. We dance on the line, but you just need to bear that in mind, especially if you are trying to sell an affiliate website. Because once you start doing some dodgy tactics, it does massively impact the multiplier that you get when you are selling it.
Yeah, I fully agree. I'm in a problem of hundreds of domains right now, and still I need to renew. Actually, I already realized there is no value in it, and it's not connected to any income stream right now. But I still renewing it, and I realize also that I'm in a moment of burning money because of renewing these hundreds. It's a great moment for me just to shift the mindset and build different way. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm here like forever, so I have my, let's say, baggage of experience behind
Yeah,
me.
definitely. What's the next event that you're speaking at? Would it be the one in March? Am I correct in
So,
saying that?
so the next one is next month in Dubai. I'm going to speak on SEO Vibes Dubai with Charles Flood and guys, and then I'm speaking on my one in Poland, Kulturalnie SEO. Then for sure I'm performing a keynote speech on this White Press SEO Vibes Poland. Then I'm probably performing a keynote speech on SEO Estonia. And then let's see, I have a lot of invitation right now, and I'm trying to pick the best one. And I have already planned only the first and second quarter, and then I will plan the next one.
Yeah. I've
Maybe two more gigs this year.
yeah. I might see you in Dubai. I'm speaking at Affiliate World,
Yeah.
which is I think it's 2 or 3 days after Charles's event, but I don't know if I'll be able to make Charles's event just yet. I should know in maybe a week or two's time. Um, but yeah, let's talk about family life
Yeah.
because I quite enjoy digging into people's family life, not because I'm nosy, but just to figure out like what's Robert's schedule like. How many kids have you got?
Just one. Just
Just
one.
one.
Just one.
Um,
Yeah. I have a
and
daughter. She is 4 years old. Yeah.
4 years old. And would you say that you've slowed down or you've sped up since having your daughter?
Mm, in general, I slowed down, but uh, I learned how to plan my schedule, my time, and better execute and how to perform better execution in shorter time slots. For sure, for
Yeah.
sure. And yeah, it's the thing about time calendar and stuff. I'm also not now. I'm also I know how to say no to all new options because there's a lot of options each day, every day, and I know how to cherry pick the best one or even say no to some
Yeah.
lucrative option just because of time. And yeah, I'm trying to be quite good dad, and I'm back at home like 6 p.m. daily just to read a book, spend time with my kiddo, go to sleep with her, etc. And then next day, and yeah, I'm trying to have a balance with it.
That's
Of
good.
course,
That's
I try to don't work during the weekend and just spend time with my family and go somewhere,
yeah.
and yeah, and also because of my kid and family, and I'm responsible for them. I'm well motivated to grow myself, rank higher, get more money, get stuff, grow my company. Yeah, it's good motivation also for me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. Carol Roof. So for anybody listening, this is the second podcast that I've done today. I had Carol Roof on at 5 a.m. Robert's been on at 11. But Carol Roof said very, very similar. He said that obviously he has a son. I believe his son is maybe 6 or 7 years old, just a little bit older than yours. And he said that he picks or his schedule's a lot more regimented because before he had his son and stuff, he might work maybe 11 hours a day or 8 hours a day. Now he's like, right, I need to finish this task within 4 hours because then,
Yeah.
for example, I might take my son out to the park or whatever else. So it's interesting you say that, and I can also see it with James as well. Like, obviously, I knew James before he had his daughter and his son, and he would go out on weekends or he would just work. Like I remember I would go around to his house until like 8, 9 p.m. Now he has blocked out 2, 3, 4 hours a day to spend with his kids and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really, really good to see.
Yeah, the hardest year was when she was like 1 year old, and before just after she got birth or came to the world. I don't know how to say it in English. It was the worst year and hardest, let's say. But now she's 4. She's going to daycare, and yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Do you see her doing SEO or not really?
We had a few funny moments. For example, I'm picking domains for drop catch auction and stuff, and she's bringing her fake laptop for kids. What we are doing? I'm choosing domain as my dad. So yeah,
That's good. So I'm gonna ask this question. It will be the last question, then, and then you won't need to talk to me. But free failures, and again, it doesn't need to be free, but it could be anything to do with business. It could be SEO. It could be something lifestyle, whatever.
So the first failure, for sure, it was over investing in project. I had a project in fashion niche in Poland. I invested close to 500,000 Polish zloty in a project, and think somebody will do it for me. Like, I outsourced everything to software house. My wife, she just took an eye of it, and it was a big failure. And as a, let's say, outcome from it, it's to know how to say stop in investing in bad project. I was investing more because I was thinking, oh no, it will grow, it will grow somehow, whatever. I will invest more, but at the end of the journey, I spent 500,000 Polish zloty and no result at all. So yeah, it's my biggest failure, and for sure it was because I didn't have a time for it. I thought that I would just found it and it will work. And because of it, for sure, all the failures will be people related that I trust too much and think that somebody is thinking and will deliver without me. It's not true, and I failed a lot with my project. I just outsourced it to someone and trust they will do it for me without my input. It's not working this way. Yeah. And have you read the book of One Thing or Essentialism?
I've heard of it. I've never read it. No.
So the book is a perfect explanation. What I did, I just went like this, a lot of options, too many options, and failed at the end of the journey. And yeah. And as from SEO perspective, for sure, my failure was on too much PBNs and playing hard with project. Yeah, for sure. In the long run, I failed with this approach. Only just pushing links. It's a bad idea, and I failed with a lot of project with it. And that's it. No more failures. This fashion project was the biggest one, but I learned a lot. And actually, I developed, based on this project, I developed a lot of ideas. I was the first guy who introduced the idea of keyword clustering in Poland. I showed it to Matt Diggity a few years back, and he invited me to Chiang Mai SEO based on this project. So in one hand, I spend a lot. In other hand, I build the value. I can't measure in money, so maybe it's not as big failure as I think. But in general, from a money perspective, it's.
I always love asking that question to guests because, first of all, if somebody's just recently heard about Robert, or if somebody's just recently heard about me, they might think, "Oh my God, Kazra has all these websites. He has all these affiliate websites. He has an agency. He does this. He does that." It's never just been an upward trajectory of success and money. Because, for example, exactly like what Robert just mentioned, you'll probably take 2 steps up, and then you'll have a failure, and then you'll take another few steps up, and then you'll have another failure. But the main thing that I would probably say to anybody listening is, if you're failing, you're probably doing something right. You're actually learning. Like exactly like what you said, you know now not to invest crazy amounts into things that you might not think that will get you a return. You obviously learned from it, and then obviously you got invited to Chiang Mai with Matt Diggity and stuff like that. So, in one hand, yes, you might have wasted a lot of money, but in the other hand, you've probably gained a lot of money and a lot of success from doing that initial failure.
Yeah, but the second part is hard to measure, and you are right. It's always like this.
Exactly.
You will always fail, but the thing is, how many times you wake up and stand up and go for, and expand and go and proceed and blah blah blah, and one more time, one more time, one more time. It's the name of the game.
Yeah, it's we say it all the time in the office. We say, how many times did you fail today? Because if you didn't fail, you're probably not doing something correct. And I think it just applies to everything in life. Whether you're starting out a business, whether you're starting out a new website, whether you're starting out PPC, whatever it is, you're bound to fail. But
Yeah,
it's what you learn.
the thing is based on the experience you build year by year. You can decrease the percentage of your failures in time, and that's the thing.
Yeah,
Everybody,
yeah, exactly.
Each of us need to pay the tax of this experience stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, where can people find you, Robert?
So I'm active on my Facebook, and I'm going to build my Twitter and LinkedIn account. So you can jump to my Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. Yeah, if you have some private question, you can mail me, and for sure I will be on a lot of conferences around the globe this year. And
Yeah.
we can talk in private there. Yeah.
Definitely. I'll make certain to link everything from his Facebook to your LinkedIn and your Twitter account in the description. So if you guys do have any long-winded questions for Robert, you can always message him. I'm sure he will help you out. He's a lovely guy. But yeah, thanks for coming on, Robert. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure for me. I know we had some turbulences with connection, but I hope in the post production everything will be good and everyone enjoyed the talk.
Yeah, I'm hoping everything's good in the post recording. But yeah, thanks for coming on.
No worries.
So there.